Like in LA, KJLH, you know, is a radio station owned by Stevie Wonder. And they was on the air mocking me and like making jokes about the fact that I sold my CD for 100, and they was having sound bites of my fans calling in and acting like I was lying and stuff. So I was like, you know, I took to my Twitter and I was just like, you know, y'all are urban owned radio station, one of the only ones. Like, I'm an independent artist. You would think that y'all would support this, and if you didn't support it, at least don't bash it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I did get a little backlash, and so, you know, I think once Jay went out and made that move and it became public, you know, people so fickle, they immediately kind of silenced their criticism and turned it into like, oh yeah, I knew it was gonna work, man. He's a genius, marketing genius, all that old bullshit.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah. Hey man, what about the 100 I just gave you? You don't think that helped out too?
Most definitely. Big shout out to Sway, man. You know, it goes without saying.
Yeah.
Nah, but you know, I talked to B Dot about you, just cause me and B Dot from Rap Radar had a convo about what you talked about earlier about, like, you know, the journalism in hip hop, and I was just talking about certain voices that's respected and that we know their background. And I brought up you, like, you know, yourself, Karen Civil, B Dot, Elliot Wilson, like, y'all are indigenous to the culture. So when y'all say something, it has more of a value to a person like me than when Joe Schmo from this magazine that we don't know where he came from, he might have just got the job because his uncle in the building or some stuff like that. And so, you know, I did bring you up, not that it mean too much, but I just was like, your voice is in my opinion like one of the opinions on the high platform that's indigenous to this shit, you know.
Thank you, man. I've lived this, immersed in it, still living it.
Exactly.
And I had an issue too with the new journalism movement a couple years that kicked in because it was just that. It was just a lot of people just saying some crappy shit.
Yeah.
That didn't have any, you know, it was their opinion, that's fine.
Yeah.
But when you're working on a platform that could injure an artist and damage an artist that you don't know nothing about, you ain't lived their life, ain't lived the life.
Thank you.
And then you getting all of this, you know, these accolades because of your platform. That's what I had a problem with. Motherfuckers, do your due diligence. Put in your work before you could go comment on a Nipsey Hussle. You've been putting out music down there 10 years or so. You know what I mean? So, and what happened between, I know a lot of shit that happened.
Yeah. Real life stuff
that you it ain't even worth you don't talk about. You know what I mean? So you gotta be careful sometimes in this business.
Absolutely.
What you're saying, right?
And I equated it to, like, you know, if somebody's standing in front of my spot, and, you know, talking about my work is garbage, you know what we gonna do? We not gonna go for that. If that's, you know, you knocking how we eat, you knocking how we put food on the plate, and it's equivalent to that. Like, don't, you know, you entitled to your opinion, but when it become, you know, a bourgeois, you know what I mean, holier than thou approach to some shit that y'all are, and it don't got nothing to do with race or culture. It has everything to do with love.
Yeah.
If you love the culture and you got love for it, then you can have an opinion. It's like, can't nobody just whoop you. Your mama and your daddy could whoop you because they got love for you.
Yeah.
So you accept discipline and you accept, you know, advice and structure from your loved ones. But you're not just gonna accept that from somebody that don't love you and it's not established that they love you. And I feel the same way about, you know, critical review, about opinion. Like, you know, you gotta love the culture and you gotta validate yourself within this thing that you're writing about. Because if you don't, then you're gonna get artists that gonna use their influence and their voice to bash you, but in a rightful and in